food could be an issue out here. We're not alone out here. Crazy, bro. Look at this. Look at the color of that. It's one of my biggest fears when I come out here. The boat driver hasn't come back. I don't have a GPS to send for help. What is going on, my doggies? Welcome back to another video and welcome to a 3-day survival challenge. I've just been dropped off by a small fishing boat on a very, very remote island here in Indonesia. The aim of the game is to survive for the next 3 days. We got no food, we got no water, and we got no means of starting fire. Sit back, relax. The next 3 days is going to be an absolute grind. We've just done a complete lap of the island, and one thing I will say, this place is pristine. There is not a lot of rubbish on this island. I'll show you guys what we found. We ended up finding a little bit of gear, but it's nothing crazy and it's not really going to help us out a lot. But this up here is what we're going to be calling base camp for the next 3 days. This is where we're going to be calling home. So these are all the things that we found on the lap of the island. We've got one water bottle. It actually has a little bit of liquid in it. You can see how much sediment's in there. That's not going to be drinkable water. Another water bottle, no lid. Third water bottle, nothing in it. We found a little bunch of twine. This water bottle does have liquid in it. It is probably going to be drinkable water. We're out here for the next 3 days with no water, and I'm not using these bottles to drink the water. The last 2 episodes we've done that. I want to challenge myself in this episode. Third bottle, oh, this is like the 6th bottle, sorry, 5th bottle. A little bit of liquid in it. We're not using that water to be surviving on this island. I want to show you guys a different method of finding hydration. We found a can washed up on the beach. And also we found this plastic bag. Now, believe it or not, this plastic bag here is probably how we're going to start a fire. That is it. That's all we found on that little walk. Okay, I'm just going to really quickly run you guys through what we've got out here for the next couple of days, remembering we have absolutely no food, we've got absolutely no water, and absolutely no means of starting fire. The 3 things you need to survive, we do not have. But with that said, we do have a couple of things. Obviously, I've got a power bank here so I can charge the batteries so I can film this adventure, a box of batteries here, and a drone so we can get those aerial shots of this incredibly remote island. Down here, I've got a dry t-shirt, we've got a multi-tool, we've got the old faithful knife that we always bring out on these adventures. I have a sarong. Now, these islands are supposed to be infamous for mosquitoes. And when I say mosquitoes, the boat drivers were telling me these islands, as soon as the sun goes down, very, very bad for mosquitoes. So what we have is a sarong to cover myself in, but we've also brought a tent so I can stay out of the mosquitoes. Dengue fever, malaria are both something big around this area, and I don't want to be getting dengue fever out here while I'm all alone. We're a 6.5 hour boat ride from any kind of help, so I really need to be cautious of what I'm doing out here. The boat driver has given me this. This is an Indonesian local machete. He said to me, please be very, very careful on this island, and he gave me his machete to use for the next 3 days. What an absolute bloody legend. The last thing that I did bring, you guys are always hitting me up on Instagram saying, hey, you got to bring spear guns on these adventures. So I brought a spear gun with me. We've got a spear gun, we've got a mask, and we've got fins and a fishing rod. So we do have a little bit of stuff on this island, but look, we don't really have a lot. No food, no water, no fire. The 3 things you need to survive, we have absolutely none of that. We've been on this island for no longer than three and a half hours, and I'm already extremely parched, like I'm thirsty. I'm gonna try my hardest not to dig into a coconut. I really wanna try to find fresh water. I'm gonna challenge myself in this episode to find a freshwater source. A lot of islands have fresh water on them. You just need to know how to find them and what to look for. So what I'm gonna teach you guys in this episode is how to find fresh water. I'm just gonna be trudging through this thick jungle, looking for the lowest part of land we can find. Once we find that, it's stage 2. Holy shit, I'm sweating bullets. The issue with finding liquid this way is you exert a lot of energy very on in the piece. I'm so thirsty at the moment. If we just continue digging down, we're gonna find a water source. We'll eventually find a freshwater table. The reason I know we're gonna find fresh water is because of the abundance of greenery around me at the moment. There are bananas growing here. The coconuts are plentiful. It is a very dense jungle, and that has to grow off of fresh water. So if we just keep digging down and digging down and digging down until we hit the water table, we will find fresh water. It might take a while. I'm just sitting here chopping through roots. The roots are incredibly thick in this ground, but if you put in the time, you put in the effort, and you're persistent, you will find water. You just got to keep digging. Okay, it's taken me about 45 minutes to dig this hole. We've got a hole, and you wouldn't bloody believe it, we've got fresh water. We have got fresh water, look at this. Here's the mud. You can see how wet that mud is. That, what you can see on the bottom of that hole there, is fresh drinking water. And it's a never-ending source. We didn't even have to dig down too far to hit the water table, although we have come to the lowest part of the forest or the jungle. That is fresh water. Obviously it's not clean at the moment, but it's fresh water. What I want to do is I want to dig about 300 mil past the bottom of the water. So I want to have about this much water sitting in this hole before the bottom hits the bottom. What's going to happen over time is all the sediment will just settle back down to the bottom, and the fresh drinking water will separate from the dirty water, and it'll sit on top. We'll be able to come back with a bottle or a coffee cup and just take out pieces of water as we go, and it should be drinkable water. You should boil it, but at the same time you shouldn't have to boil it. This is fresh water straight out of the earth. Time on the island now is roughly 5.5, 6 hours. We've been on this island now, and it's been 6 hours with absolutely no liquid. My mouth is as dry as a bag of flour. I am super parched. I'm going to get a coconut. I said I wasn't going to drink coconuts, but we have found fresh water. The fresh water is doing its thing. It is self-filtering as we speak. Whilst that does that, I'm going to go see if we can't find a low-lying coconut tree and get some coconuts. There is no shortage of coconuts around here. I'm parched, man. Who said field day couldn't climb a coconut tree? Ha, we got a couple, boys. Yeah, dude. That is gonna be amazing. That is a bloody beautiful coconut hole right there. One of three things has just happened to me while I was up in that coconut tree. One, I got bitten by a fire ant or a spider. My calf is on fire at the moment. I don't know what's happened, but my calf muscle here is just burning. It was either a spider bite, a fire ant, or I got stung by an irriganji walking through the water there. One of the three. It's one of my biggest fears when I come out here doing these adventures is that I don't have a GPS to send for help. Like there is no help out here. So I always try to keep myself as safe as I possibly can. But at the same time, sometimes you just got to climb trees to get coconuts like this. Look at that. That is a fresh coconut full of liquid. Oh. Yeah, lubricate me, baby, lubricate me. Well, the good thing is, we have no shortage of coconuts on this island, and now we have an untapped source of fresh drinking water. Everything is just covered in sand and ants. I've just built a real quick little makeshift clothesline in the background because I want to be able to sleep in dry clothes tonight. They're a little bit damp from the trip here, so drying out clothes over the back. For now, I'm just going to set up a tent, chuck all my shit inside the tent so it's safe from the ants. I think next thing on the agenda will be fire and just trying to stay hydrated because it is so hot out here. Oh yeah, dude. Mosquito proof. There will be no mosquitoes in here tonight. There's actually sandflies here, or midges are here. My legs are getting beaten up by mosquitoes and midges right now, and that's not good. If we didn't have this tent, the next 3 days would be torture trying to sleep on this island. There's a big storm that's pissing down with rain out the back there. If that comes this way, I'm not gonna be happy because we need to start a fire and all the materials are gonna get wet. Well, I'm literally watching this storm in the background, just flying. It's coming our way, like it's coming our way right now. What I need to do is I need to make a couple of tent pegs and secure this tent down. She's coming in hot, doggies, she's coming in hot. We're gonna get real wet real quick. We might just be lucky, you know. I don't know if that storm's gonna shift in the background, but I'm just taking precaution. I've got a firewood here. I went into the jungle and I found this big sheet of tin. There's a big sheet of tin right in the center of the bloody jungle. I'm just gonna chuck all of me bloody wood underneath that. It'll stay nice and dry. Obviously, I wanna try to start a fire with that plastic bag we found this morning. And to do that, you need the sun. So we'll just hold off on starting a fire for a little bit. Hopefully the sun comes back out and we can use that plastic bag for a fire. Dude. Fresh water. As fresh as water gets, except for rainwater. That is straight from the earth, drinking fresh water. It's a little bit cloudy. So what we're gonna do, this hole's probably been sitting now for about 2 hours, and it's 80% cleaner than what it was. So what I've got here is I've got a neck buff. This is just the buff that goes over this t-shirt. I'm gonna use that neck buff to our advantage. We've got another bottle here. I'm just gonna take off the top of the bottle, and I'm gonna get this neck buff. And what we'll do is we'll filter this water through the neck buff into this bottle. It's gonna catch all the sediment. It's very fine material, these neck buffs. And we're just gonna continue the process. That water down here is ridiculously clean compared to what it was before. Look at that. Doesn't look very clear, doesn't look very clean, but that is 100% drinking water. We're gonna live out here for the rest of our lives if we want. That's fresh water, doggies. That is fresh water. That storm has passed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this sun. We're gonna harness the sun to start a fire with that plastic bag that I found. I'm just getting the fibrous materials out of this coconut husk. We've got a pile of coconut husk down here, and we're just pulling them apart and taking the fibrous materials. This stuff is the absolute greatest fire starter on planet Earth. That is the fibrous materials out of a coconut husk. Here we go. There's our plastic bag we found this morning washed up on the beach. What we're gonna do, we're gonna start a fire with that sun behind me, this plastic bag in my hand, and this material down here. So what you can do with the plastic bag is, this is not a great bag. There's a couple of pinholes in it. I've got my thumb and my pinky both on a hole trying to block the water from coming out, but it's still gonna work. You wanna bring this plastic bag into a sphere shape, so you've got a round shape the entire way around. As that sun hits one side, it hits the other side. It turns into basically a magnifying glass. The sun comes through. As that's coming through, you just wanna find the sharpest point. So you can spin it, you can turn it around to a million different angles. You just gotta find the right light. All right, we've got a beautiful, strong, straight bit of, see that down there? That is bloody gonna burn any second. It's hot. The sun has just gone behind a cloud. I'm sweating bullets. I need to wait for that sun to come back out. Smoking, 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 smoking. We've done it. We've done it, we've done it, we've done it. Look at that, see that? That is a little burning ball of embers. All right, we definitely don't have an ignition, but we do have an ember. So what we're gonna do now, take a coconut husk, flip it on there, flip him upside down, and get the party started. Look at this. Beautiful big fat ember sitting in this coconut husk. Once this stuff has an ember in it, it'll just stay like this for ages. So these embers are just gonna slowly be cooking away. You can leave this here for hours and hours and hours and on. You can walk away, come back, this will still be smoldering when you get back. That's exactly what I want. We're not gonna burn up all our dry materials that we have. This coconut husk will just slowly pepper away. And if I wanna have a fire, I'll just put some sticks inside, blow like this, and you'll have a fire in no time. The plan for the next 3 days is to not let this fire go out. I'm boiling a little bit of that water that we harvested from the earth. We've got a fire. We're boiling fresh water from the earth. Bro, It's only day one. Where is the next couple of days gonna take us? So what I've done here, I've made myself a little bit of a bush grill. It's gonna be a grill slash smoker. So I'll load this fire up with coconut husk. These are gonna take light in no time. And then what I've done up here is, I've just made myself a little bush grill. So these sticks will just sit across like this, spread them out evenly. And this is where we're gonna lay our fish. Hopefully if we get one, we should get one. The aim of the game is to not have a flame. I just want this to be a smoky fire. The smoke will pass up through there, through the wood, and it's gonna smoke our fish out. Should be delicious. There she is. That is the bloody barbecue for the night. I just found a couple of bits of bark off an old tree. So I've just used bark on each side of the barbie. So now we've got a windproof and you can just see that smoke now is just penetrating straight up through that wood. Let's pick up the spear gun and see if we can't go and slay a couple of fish. We've got about 2 hours of sunlight left. Oh man, this water is beautiful. After a day of sweating my ass out, it is so good to be in the water. Let's see what we can't catch. I just lost a beautiful jobfish. What an idiot. That was a shit shot too. A little bit too high in the head. Wow. Look at this, dude. Look at this. Are you kidding? Oi, I'm frothing out. This is incredible. I just got back from spearfishing. I wouldn't even call that spearfishing. I just call that snorkeling, to be honest. But look, I just got back. I've got some dry clothes on. It is incredibly good to be in some dry clothes, not salty, sweaty clothes. But, oi, that was one of the hardest spearfishing missions ever. First fish I seen within 10 minutes of being in the water, a job fish. Shoot it, straight in the top of the head, just skimmed it. I just had it holding on by its skin and job fish gone. After that, I saw nothing worth eating, like hardly any good fish. I seen a couple of mullet. I was trying to chase them around. They were way too quick. I'll show you what we got. We got one fish. I could have got a lot of fish. Like we could have gone pretty hard and got a whole lot of parrotfish and stuff, but parrotfish taste like shit. And I'm gonna punish myself for losing the job fish, but this is what we got. That is what we're dealing with. I can't remember what they're called, but it's actually quite a delicious fish. It's some form of a snapper. So I've just got that hanging off the spear gun in the tree. We need to clean it, gut it, fillet it, and then we're gonna bang him down here on our little fire. I've just chucked a couple of sticks on there, but that is perfect. I've made me fish a little smoke room. So I'm just chucking this bit of bark over the top, and it's catching the smoke as it passes through, slowly cooking. It's going to be bloody delicious. What I want to do is I want to head out here, and I want to see if we can't find any more fish. That fish is not enough for me for dinner. So I'm just going to stalk along on these shallow water and see if we can't find a fish. The mosquitoes out here are next level. I've got all my clothes on. Long pants, long sleeve t-shirt. I've put all my dry clothes on. Trying to stay away from the mosquitoes. Look at the size of that rat. Oh, there's a massive rat in the tree, dude. There is a giant rat running up the branches in here. Just ran up there into the abyss of this tree. We're not alone out here. There are some crazy sounds coming out of the jungle here. There's a whole heap of bats. You can hear the bats flying around. Oh yeah, baby. Look at this thing. Food is ready. There is not a lot of activity out there in the ocean at the moment. I'm gonna go for another walk a little bit later on, but it's dead. Our food is ready. I'm gonna rip into this fish, man. I'm starving. Look at that thing. That is dinner, and I am that hungry. I'm gonna destroy this fish. It's about 300 mil long, so it's a little bit of a feed, but it's not a massive feed. I could literally eat about 6 of these. Look at this pearly white meat coming straight off that fish. Oh my God. It's amazing. I think what we're gonna have to do tomorrow is really work hard for food. Food could be an issue out here. Lost a job fish, that's heartbreaking. This is delicious, but that was a bloody beautiful feed. We're drinking water straight out of the earth, catching fresh fish. That fish ain't big enough for a feed, but dude, it was just a little tasty bomb. That thing was delicious. I'm gonna go get another big harvest of coconuts. I'm gonna fill this fire with coconut husks, and then I'm gonna slide into my tent, and that's it for me for the night. I'm done. Yeah, dude. That's good. Yes! Well, good bloody morning. Welcome to day 2 of surviving on this island. We've woken up this morning, very overcast. The sun still isn't really up yet. It's early, the mosquitoes are thick. Shit, you can hear the mosquitoes around my head just going, go, they're crazy thick. But what we've got down here is extremely good. This is nature at its finest. What's happened during the course of the night is all of that muck in the water has settled to the bottom. The fresh water's still pushing in from the sides, and we have crystal clear drinking water in this hole. It's completely purified itself overnight. This is the shit right here. Look how clear that water is now. You can see the bottom. Check this out. That's straight from the earth. That is a whole lot clearer than yesterday's effort. That is outstanding, man. Oh, that's incredibly good. That is amazing. One of the luxuries I have out here is coffee. If you guys want to get this coffee, it's FDYS drip filtered coffee. Incredibly good, especially when you're out here camping. These little satchels here are very, very, very handy. If you want to grab yourself a bit of coffee, fieldayshop.com, jump over to the website and check it out. We've also got a heap of merch over there as well. These are actually very, very good when you're out in the bush and you need to filter water. So I've just ran coffee through this coffee filter, but what you can also do, and it is actually really handy. So these are a minute filter. You won't get any kind of rubbish through that filter. What you can do, put that filter on a plastic bottle. Here's that incredibly clean water, which we sourced from our hole we dug yesterday. I mean, look at the color of that. That's almost crystal clear water. It's just filtered itself overnight. You want to filter this water, we just use that coffee filter once again, and we run the water through that coffee filter, and that's going to take every little bit of shit out of the water. I don't know if you guys can see the color difference there, but this water has got a lot less of a yellow tinge than this water here, just from passing it through that filter once. So these coffee filters, not only are they good for making coffee in the bush, but they're also incredible for filtering water like that. I've just seen a fish absolutely launching out of the water here. They're up here. The fish are up here. Big, big, big boofs, man. Big boofs. There's some big boofing going on. Come on, eat it up, 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 eat it up. Oh, we just had a knock. I think that's a long time. Oh, that's fish on. Fish on, fish on. Fish on. What is this thing? Taking some string. It's got some crazy head shakes. Ah, doggy. Look at a fish. Bro, he's hanging very, very deep. I'm gonna walk out to the ledge there. He's gone super deep. Man, that was incredible. I just did a big coconut harvest. I went and found like 100 coconuts so we can have a big fire for the day. Oh my gosh. This thing's got a set of legs on it. Look at them out there. They're still busting up over there. Is this breakfast, dude? The noodle rod, man. Getting absolutely pumped. Oh, that is breakfast. That is a little trevally. Oh, it's perfect. Come on, let's get him up on the beach. That is a perfect breakfast, man. You couldn't ask for better food than that right there. Come on, buddy, come up, come up, come up, come up, come up. All right, all right, all right. Up you come, up you come, up you come, up you come, up you come. Yeah, dude. That is delicious. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, dude. I'm just gonna quickly bleed it, get the blood out of it, and that's going straight on the fire. Oh, bro. Look at this thing. Breakfast. That thing is cooked to perfection. Slowly cooked over a smoky coconut fire. That is perfection. I'm so bloody hungry, dude. I'm going to smash the back out of this fish, but look at this thing. That's breakfast, man. Go away. This fish, it's a game changer. Look at this. That's actually quite a lot of food right here. This is gonna block me up, this fish. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. The good thing about having a fire like this, when we're not using flame, you're only using smoke. If I don't wanna eat this entire fish, I can just put it back on top of the smoke, put it to the side where it's not hot, but the smoke will hit it, and that'll just keep the bugs, the flies, everything off it for the entire day. I can keep coming back, nibbling on the fish. As long as that smoke is passing the fish, you can leave it there for days. It'll be good to eat still. Oh shit. This is going to be very, very interesting. We've got a local fisherman coming up behind me here. I'm not sure what's going on here. I don't know if this is his island or what's going on, but we've got a local fisherman just rocking up in like a traditional boat here. He's coming straight into the shore, boy. Where's my knife? Pagi, bro.
Mancing Pak.
Mancing?
Mancing.
Ya, suruh mancing. Kamu mancing?
Ya nggak dapat lah satu.
Apa ikan?
Ikan apa biasa. Tuh.
Wih, bagus bro. Ini 3 malam. Man, this guy's a legend. He's friendly as all hell. He's just asking me what I'm doing. And yeah, I don't know, he probably owns this island. He doesn't speak any English and I speak very, very little Indonesian, but just enough so I can understand what's going on. This is what he's fishing into, full local fishing boat. I don't know where he's come from. Somewhere in the jungle out there, I suppose, but looks like we've got a mate on the island for a little while. Sudah makan? He's now asking me for something. I'm not sure what he's asking me for. He just keeps saying like, give me. And I'm like, just looking at all my stuff I've got everywhere. I'm just being super cautious of what's going on right now. He's tied his boat up to this tree here. And he just keeps saying, give me. And I don't understand what he's asking me for. I don't know. I'm just going to be very cautious out here by myself on this island. I'm just seeing this guy lives out here somewhere. This could be his island. I've got no idea. I'm just going to have my wits about me for the next, as long as he's here.
Kalau biasanya Pak, ikan situ, mancing situ kan, sebelah situ. Ah, pas buang kan, agak sore lah.
Yo, this is crazy, man. All right, so that guy's been like on the beach and I don't exactly understand what he's saying to me. And he's just like, I go in bush. And I'm like, okay, see you, bro. And I was like, can I follow you? I was like, can I follow? He's, okay, come. He's just brought me into the middle of the jungle, to the back end of this jungle, which I haven't yet explored. And he's actually got a house, or it's not a house, but it's this little hut here. He's got a heap of coconut shells. And I think what he's doing is he wants to cook his fish. And I'm like, bro, I've got a fire going on the beach, just use my fire. And he's like, tidak. All right, whatever. He wants to start a fire himself, but he seems actually quite friendly. So I'm just gonna still have my wits about me, but I'll show you guys this. I didn't even know this existed on this island. Have a look at this. This is the back corner. He's got a little hut here. It's crazy, bro. He's got this little rusted up hut here, and he's actually starting a fire.
Tapi kalau ada minyak Pak, bagus nih. Nggak ada minyak. Bahasa Indonesia Pak, sedikit.
Sedikit bahasa Indonesia, bro. Sedikit.
Sedikit. Minum, makan nak.
Ya, minum sudah.
Oh, sudah. Karena basah dia Pak. Susah hidup. Mancing lagi Pak. Mancing sudah.
Sudah. Satu ikan. Satu saja. Sudah makan, bro?
Sudah. Susah ini Pak.
Tidak bagus ya? That is wild, bro. On the other side of this island, a place that we haven't even explored yet, there's a little hut. I'm guessing it's his hut, and he comes here and I don't know what he does, but he's trying to get a fire started and he is struggling to get a fire started. So I'm gonna go back to my fire. I've offered him to use my fire. I was like, bro, I've got a fire right there, but he wants to cook his fish and he wants to cook it in his hut. So whatever, I'll let him cook it in his hut, but I'm gonna go get him some of my fire because he can't get a fire started. So I've just got this palm frond, back of a palm frond. I'm gonna transfer some of my fire over to his little hut and hopefully he can have a feed because he can't get a fire going. Even with the lighter, he's struggling to get a fire started. All the materials are kind of damp in there. So let's see if we can't help this bloke out and give him a little bit of fire.
Man.
Ini.
Oh, ini satu Pak ya.
Full, full.
Full.
Your basket is full, brother. So that's what he's collecting. He's walking around the island collecting these old coconuts. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm gonna find out.
Full Pak. Oh,
Full.
full.
Wow, you have adjustable backpack. More bisa, yaar.
Ya.
Apa itu, bro? Ada makan?
Enggak,
Tidak makan.
tidak. Kalau yang dipanjat keras nih Pak. Keras. Koting Pak.
Hati-hati, bro.
Iya Pak. Deh. Udah Pak.
Thank you, boss.
Oh.
Alright, this guy's actually officially a legend. He just climbed up a coconut tree like a champion. He's got a couple of fresh coconuts down. And this isn't just liquid inside, it's also food. So I'll show you guys the meat in a little bit. That is a beautiful little coconut. This is the most random encounter ever, but I'm also very glad it's happened. Well, it turns out that guy is an absolute legend of a bloke. I was very, very skeptical when he rocked up to this island at the beginning. It's probably one of my biggest fears when I'm out here, especially when you're out here for 3 to 4 days. You're all alone, you're sleeping in a tent. You just have no idea who has the ability to rock up at night. And like, everyone walks around with those big machetes in this part of the world. But that guy, mate, once I traded him the fire, I gave him my working fire. He just turned into an absolute champion. He climbed up the tree, grabbed me. These coconuts are delicious, bro. These have got hard coconuts. These are gonna have coconut meat inside of them. But yeah, beautiful guy. I asked him if I could film him. And the reason why I was just following him around is because that is how you learn things about these islands. These people have so much knowledge. Like, he's showing me leaves you can eat. He was showing me a few other things. Very, very, very knowledgeable people. They will teach you so much more than anything on the internet, any books you read about survival and camping and stuff like that. So if you ever get the chance to hang around with the local people or indigenous people of the land, try to do it, because that is where you learn the most. I learned a couple of things in there with him, which is incredible. We'll pull those little tricks out of the hat in another episode, I reckon. But yeah, he's still in there now. He's cooking up his fish. Just sort of hung out with him for half an hour, and I said, all right, mate, that's enough. You do your thing. And for me, what we're going to do now, we're going to go spearfishing. So I'm going to get the spear gun back out. We're going to start thinking about dinner. This water is ridiculously good. Oh, bro, you have no idea how hot this is out here. The water is incredible. Let's go see if we can't slay some fish. Why am I shooting high all the time? That was a beautiful mullet. Bro, we've got to go quickly. We've got a beautiful mullet. That's going to be so good around the fire. It's raining, dude. Oh shit. It's just started raining, dude. I've got to protect our fire and all my dry clothes. My coconuts are getting wet, bro. All right, we still got fire inside. That's gonna be all good. Dude, I'm still wearing my mask on my head. Look at this. I'll take him back to camp now. It's a good fish. He's gonna be beautiful around the fire. This is brutal. It has been raining for probably a little bit over 3 hours now. Everything is soaking, like I'm talking everything soaking wet. I haven't looked inside my tent yet, but I've got batteries on the ground. I've got charging equipment in there. I'm just crossing my fingers. I'm hoping it's not all wet inside that tent, but I'm not game enough to open it right now. It is absolutely pissing down the rain. It is freezing cold. I've got no dry clothes. Everything is stuck inside the tent, and I don't want to enter that tent while it's raining like this. It's going to be dark in a couple of hours, and this rain does not look like it's letting up anytime soon. It is just a grey sky out there. The only way I can keep myself warm is by coming back down to the ocean and just sitting in the ocean, because the ocean water is so much warmer, dude. That's like a sauna. So much warmer than the outside temperature. It is freezing out here. See you, brother. Yeah. Nice to meet you, yeah?
Let's go back.
Hati, hati, hati. Alright, I'm back on the island all by myself. Old mate has taken off in the rain. He's had enough. I gave him one of the fish that I shot, so I've only got one fish for dinner. I've just had enough embers to start another fire. Well, that is definitely not the best news in the world. That boat that just arrived then was actually the guy who dropped me off 2 days ago. And he just said to me just then, he's like, too dangerous, too dangerous. And I'm like, what are you talking about too dangerous? He's saying, ayar besar, which means big water. I don't know if he means rain, big tides tonight, or if there's a bloody tsunami coming, but he's like, ayar besar, tirap, not safe, not safe. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? So he's just like said, I'll come back in 2 hours. I'm coming back in 2 hours to pick you up. And then he just left. He's gone. He's over there in the distance going to a neighboring island. So he's coming back to get me in 2 hours. He just kept saying like big water tonight, big water. I have no idea what he means by that, but big water. Look, I'm gonna cook a fish. I'm starving. We've got a fish up there to cook up. We've got a little bit of a fire going on here. Let's rip into this fish. Ayar bisar, that means big water. I don't understand what he means by big water. We've just had 3 to 4 hours of big water, let me tell you. Everything is soaking wet. I said I wanted to get picked up in 3 days. And he says he's gonna get me off this island tonight. So I don't know what's going on. But what I do know is that we've got a big, dirty mullet right here. And we're gonna have a hell feed. What I'm gonna do with this one is just rip a fillet off it using the machete. Look at that. That's a big chunk of mullet, mate. This is gonna taste ridiculously good. Well, I'm happy to report that everything inside this tent is bone dry. Every single thing that I own in here is dry. That's crazy. The amount of rain we had, I would have guaranteed myself that this is all wet. I'm gonna start packing up camp. We've got beautiful fish cooking over some coconut coals down here on the fire. Ayar bisar, big water. I still don't understand what it means, but he was serious, dude. He was like, dangerous, dangerous, ayar bisar, and then he just took off. Anyway, I'm gonna have to start packing up all my stuff. We've got fish cooking down there. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, that is a bloody beautiful coconut. I've got the whole entire camp packed up. I've got a really, really soggy tent jammed in my backpack. Spear gun, fishing rod, shoes, everything is ready to rock and roll. The guy is a no-show. It's just about to get dark and the boat driver hasn't come back. I have no idea what's going on. This has never happened to me before, but big water, you gotta get out of there. So look, I've got a tray of some delicious fish down here. I'm gonna smash that fish. I'm gonna knock these coconuts on the head. The mosquitoes are starting to get hectic and yeah. Coconut and fish for dinner. Look at that. Perfection. Oh man, that's good, eh? Mullet is a really good fish. I like mullet. You've got to be bloody kidding me. It's actually starting to rain. Look at that coconut, mate. Wow. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wrap this episode up here. Big water, big water. No idea what it means. I'll find out, I'll let you know in another episode. But we are getting picked up, fingers crossed. It is starting to rain again. I've just packed up all my gear. So I really do hope this guy comes and I am getting absolutely murdered by mosquitoes. So I'm just gonna stand in the water until the guy gets here because my legs are getting peppered. But look, we found water, we made fire, and we had a hell of a time. We got a bit of food as well on top of all that. So it was a successful trip. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this kind of videos, bang that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video, share it around with your friends. fieldayshop.com, get your hats, get your coffee, get all the good stuff over there. All right, thanks for watching. Big water, big water. No idea what it means, but I'll let you know. All right, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ow! We made it. We're on the boat. Big water, big water. No idea. We made it. I've got a funny feeling this one is gonna test me, to test my limits. F you, why do you have to speak like a dickhead? Okay. You piece of shit, just stay still. Me, dude. Get my ass chewed by mosquitoes, the camera won't stay still. That thing's holding a fair bit of rain in it. Hopefully it passes by, but we're just not gonna take them on. Ah, that's hot. We're at a pretty bloody good point in the day at the moment. What the who says that? Anybody, you're in a pretty good point today, you're yeah, that's the stuff. That is the dumbest thing I've ever said in a video, for sure. Let's go again. And knock the scales off him. Ah, don't say that shit. First thing we're eating, first day. Oh, speak English, you wit. Just speak or don't film videos. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, let's go again. Just speak the speak, bro. Let's go, let's try again. You tripod, just stand up straight. Smoke in my eyes, mosquito bites all over my ass. That's part of camping, bro. Well, let's go. Y'all ready for this? It's coffee time. Ladies and gentlemen, this has got to be one of the greatest toilets in the world. Dropping bombs off a coconut tree. Yeah, doggy. This is the best. Oh, you little come here. Yes. That's food. I'm gonna destroy that. That's delicious. I'm gonna eat it right now. You wouldn't want one of these bastards falling on your head in the middle of the night, would ya? That thing would just knock me out straight up, boy. Big coconut straight to the noggin. That'll sort you out pretty quick. We recording this shit? Yeah, dude, the camera's rolling. You, stay still. Look at that! It is absolutely delicious. This is better than any of that dog shit food you will ever buy in a supermarket. This is the shit. As fresh as it gets, doggies. That is delicious. Nom nom nom. Wow. Look at that. That blocked me up, dude. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wrap this episode. Speak English, you This is not good, bro. We're gonna get absolutely pissed on. What the does big water mean? Big water, you gotta go, big water. Wait, it's doing my head in, dude. Big water, what could it possibly be? I have no idea.